In the lush, sprawling wilderness of Victoria, Australia, nestled within the shadows of the Yarra Ranges National Park, a chilling mystery lies buried. For decades, the towns surrounding this vast expanse of forest, Warburton, Healesville and Millgrove, have whispered of strange happenings, eerie sounds, inexplicable disappearances, and sightings of a monstrous creature lurking among the ancient trees. Though many dismissed these tales as mere folklore, one family's harrowing experience brought a new wave of terror to the region, leaving the community grappling with the possibility of something far more sinister. It all began on a sweltering January afternoon, when Liam, 15, and his younger brother Connor, 12, were working on their treehouse on the edge of their uncle's property. The land bordered the Yarra Ranges, where towering mountain ash trees loomed like sentinels over the dense underbrush. For weeks, the boys had spent their summer afternoons there, hammering away and dreaming of adventures. But that day, the forest was eerily silent, save for the sharp, frantic cries of circling birds. "They know something we don't," Connor had murmured. Liam brushed it off, but moments later Connor froze, pointing toward a massive tree about 50 meters away. There, perched 3/4 of the way up, was a figure, massive and foreboding. Its body was covered in dark, matted fur, its limbs impossibly long, and its eyes burned with a glowing red hue. The boys were paralyzed with fear as the creature seemed to turn its gaze directly toward them. "Run!" Liam shouted, breaking the spell of terror. They scrambled down the treehouse and sprinted toward the house, the sound of heavy thuds reverberating behind them. Whatever the creature was, it had leapt from the tree. The ground shook with each step as it gave chase. By the time the boys reached the safety of their home, their terror was palpable. Their mother, Sheila, tried to calm them, but their wild descriptions, glowing eyes, sharp teeth, and an almost demonic presence left her unnerved. Liam sketched the creature from memory, producing a haunting image of a beast that looked part ape, part nightmare. They began calling it the Yarra Demon. The family wasn't the first to experience something unexplainable. Over the years, residents in nearby towns had filed sporadic reports with local authorities about strange phenomena. Farmers spoke of livestock mutilations, cattle and sheep found with deep claw marks or partially consumed carcasses. Campers reported hearing guttural growls in the night or finding their tents torn apart with no signs of conventional predators. More chilling were the disappearances. In 2006, a hiker named Emily Ward vanished while trekking the popular O'Shaughnessy Aqueduct Trail. Her belongings were found scattered near the edge of the forest, but there was no trace of her. 2 years later, an elderly couple who lived near Millgrove disappeared from their home. The house was intact, their car parked in the driveway, but the couple was never found. In both cases, investigations led nowhere, and officials chalked it up to misadventures or foul play. The connection to the Yarra Demon was whispered but never confirmed. Still, the stories lingered, passed down in hushed tones, and the region developed a reputation as a place best avoided after dark. As Sheila delved deeper into the area's history, she discovered unsettling accounts from the indigenous Wurundjeri people, the traditional custodians of the Yarra Ranges. According to local law, the forest was once a sacred site, where rituals were performed to appease powerful spirits. The Wurundjeri believed the land was inhabited by beings that existed between worlds, guardians of the forest who could bring prosperity or ruin. One ritual in particular stood out. It was said that centuries ago, during times of great famine, the Wurundjeri would perform ceremonies to summon protection for their people. These rituals involved offerings of food, fire, and chants under the oldest trees in the forest. However, some stories hinted that these ceremonies didn't always go as planned. If the spirits were angered or the offerings insufficient, they could unleash wrath upon the tribe, manifesting as dark, otherworldly creatures. Could these ancient practices have awakened something that now roamed the forest? Sheila couldn't shake the thought, especially as the incidents around her property became increasingly sinister. Years after the initial encounter, Sheila remarried, and her husband Greg moved his horses, Banjo and Rosie, to the property. Greg built a stable near the edge of the forest, just 100 meters from the old treehouse. For a time, life seemed to settle. But one cold July morning, that sense of security was shattered. Sheila and Greg found Rosie trembling in the corner of the paddock, her flanks marred by deep, jagged claw marks. The wounds were fresh, and her normally spirited demeanor had vanished, replaced by sheer terror. The vet who examined her was at a loss. "Wild dogs don't leave marks like this," he said, "and I've never seen a kangaroo or boar do anything like this to a horse." As they pieced together the events, Sheila's mind returned to the Yarra demon. The stable was less than 100 meters from where the boys had first encountered the creature. Could it have returned? And if so, was it hunting larger prey now? Determined to find answers, Greg set up a trail camera near the stable. For days, it recorded nothing unusual. But one night, the camera captured something horrifying. At 3:14 a.m., a massive figure appeared, its silhouette hulking and otherworldly. The creature moved with unnatural fluidity, its glowing red eyes piercing the darkness. It lingered for a moment, staring directly into the camera, before disappearing into the shadows. When Greg showed the footage to Sheila, she felt a chill run down her spine. There it was, the creature that had haunted their family for years. Though Greg remained skeptical, Sheila was convinced they were dealing with something far beyond the realm of normal wildlife. In the months following Rosie's attack, reports of strange activity surged. A young couple camping near Mount Donabuang claimed they heard heavy footsteps circling their tent, followed by low guttural growls. They fled in the middle of the night, leaving their gear behind. More disturbingly, a family in Healesville reported that their teenage son, Ethan, went missing from their backyard. The property backed onto the forest, and despite an extensive search, no trace of him was ever found. The boy's parents spoke of strange noises they'd heard in the weeks leading up to his disappearance, growls breaking branches and an eerie, high-pitched screech that seemed to come from the trees. Authorities investigated but found no evidence of foul play. Officially, Ethan's case remained unsolved, but locals quietly speculated that the Yarra demon was to blame. For the residents of Warburton and the surrounding towns, the Yarra Ranges became a place of fear and avoidance. Hikers stopped venturing into the deeper trails, and families moved away from properties bordering the forest. Stories of glowing red eyes and monstrous shadows spread, creating an atmosphere of paranoia and dread. Sheila's family eventually decided to sell their property. The land, once filled with laughter and the promise of adventures, had become a source of unrelenting terror. As they packed their belongings, Sheila couldn't help but feel that the forest was watching, waiting. Today, the Yarra demon remains a chilling legend in Victoria. Theories abound, from cryptid enthusiasts who believe it's an undiscovered species to skeptics who attribute the sightings to mass hysteria or misidentified animals. Yet, for those who have experienced its presence, the Yarra demon is all too real. Locals still report unsettling encounters, claw marks on trees, livestock found mutilated, and the ever-present feeling of being watched. The disappearances remain unsolved, and the whispers of ancient rituals linger as a haunting reminder of the forest's dark past. The Yarra Ranges, with its breathtaking beauty and untamed wilderness, holds many secrets. But for those who dare venture too far, one question remains: what lies within the shadows? The Yarra demon serves as a chilling reminder that some mysteries are better left unexplored. Whether a manifestation of ancient spirits, an undiscovered predator, or something entirely beyond comprehension, it is a story that will continue to haunt the region for generations to come. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. See you on the next one.